Now you already signed, with Purdue University. As you stated before, you and Glenn was going there, so you had no pressure in that. You had a great senior campaign. Now it's time for the Indiana All Stars. Just give me your feelings on that, playing with guys, Glenn Robinson, Lamar Morton, Brian Evans, Jeff Massey, um, LaSalle Thompson, and guys of that nature.
It was a great experience. When you as a young kid, you think 'cause you going down and you staying in hotels and you getting all the gear and it's you're gonna have to do some work. But we got down there, I was like, man, they are really working us. We going 2 times a day.
Wow.
2 hours each session. It was hard. So we had a morning practice and we'd all go at it and you'd be so. I mean, I was like, man, we going at a really high level. You come back and you go to sleep, you get back up, and so it was kind of a great indicator of what college was going to be like. Coaching staff, we had Jim Hahn, who was at Elkhart Concord. He was Sean Kipp's coach,
Yeah, sure.
and man, he really pushed us. We played a few scrimmages before the game. I want to say we played two teams with former college and pro athletes, and I want to say we won both games. And so we played the first game in Kentucky, and I'm like, man, we're gonna crush Kentucky.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
Glenn, myself, and we got some other guys, and they ended up getting us by, I want to say, 5 or 6 points in Market Square Arena.
Yeah.
So we disappointed, and so we're going back to practice again, and I mean, we said we're not losing this game down in when we played it down in Louisville at
Yeah.
Freedom Hall. So we got down there. I mean, we were intense from the start. Glenn was a monster out there. I probably call one of the best tip dunks of my life, man. Just crowd went crazy. And it was kind of special because I look over, I see Jerome Harmon, another guy in high school I idolized.
Yeah.
Man, coming off the court, he gave me a big hug, and so it was man, it was a special experience.
Gotcha. Now you're going to Purdue University, big time basketball. Just give us the feedback on what's the huge transition from playing at Andrean, where you actually the man. Now you're going to Big Ten basketball at Purdue as a freshman.
You come in and program like Purdue, and the first thing is Coach Katie is he is so demanding, and I mean everything is scheduled, everything's laid out. It's serious business. And I think the first pickup game I get out there and I got on my practice uniform. I'm looking at all the rest of the guys. I'm like, boy, these are some big dudes, man. And I said, man, I got to get a lot stronger. I got to put some weight on. But I think with my athletic ability, I was able to kind of get by. I didn't have the strength, but I was a little bit more athletic than some of those big guys that I went up against. So first year was an experience, man. Just you come in as a freshman back then at a university like that, and we're going every day, 3 hours. It's hard. We classes. You come in to practice 3 hours. You might have weights, training tables, study tables. So it was probably the toughest year. But I learned a lot. Coach ripped me in practice a lot, and the older guys, man, get your head up, man. Coach don't take it personal. Man, you can't take it personal either.
Yeah.
And so it only took me about a couple of weeks, maybe a month. And I was like, let's get it.
So what players on that team was more of was like a leader? I know you said you had Conzo Martin was there, Matt Painter, and who else was on that team that was a huge contributor to your first year?
Woody Austin was a star on that team.
Okay.
He was just watching a guy like that, average 20 points in the Big Ten, just giving it to guys, man. I was, wow, man. So kind of watched him in practice a lot. Had a guy named Craig Riley. He was our center. Craig was an academic All-American, so just watching that guy, just how he operated off the court. I was like, man, this dude is serious. He's engineering. He's practicing just like I am. He got a 3.6 in engineering. I'm like, wow. Matt Waddell was another guy. High skill level. So it was. I had some really good guys to kind of keep me humble and on point.
I got you. Now it's your sophomore year at Purdue basketball. Did you play your sophomore year?
I redshirted
Okay.
my next year.
So what happened? You injured or?
No, I was the original plan when I went to Purdue was I was going to redshirt the first year because I needed to beef up and get stronger.
Gotcha.
But when Glenn was they declared him a Proposition 48.
That's right.
We were kind of thin on the front line, so coach wanted me to play. I mean, I wanted to play. Nobody really wants to sit out.
Yeah.
So and the next year, my father was like, "You sitting out," and I was like, "Man, please just let me play." I felt like I was going to compete for a starting spot, but I sat out that year. I was always on the scout team in practice, which was good. I was always, sometimes I couldn't get in the run because I was red shirt, so they had the first and second team. But the scout team, we played UConn one year, and I'm Danielle Marshall, so coach was like, jacket, so man, it really helped my game. Sometimes, if we're playing Indiana, I get to be maybe Allen Henderson or Calvin Chaney. And so I love those.
But how did that feel though, man? Going from you actually played as a freshman, played big time basketball, and now your next year you're on a scout team. It's just mentally. How did you deal with that mentally?
It was kind of hard, especially sometimes when we got into the season and we winning games, and I know I'm part of the team, but I wasn't out there, so that's the hard part. And you watch the team lose, and it's like, man, I know I could have gotten there and got some rebounds and maybe played some defense on this guy. And so it was kind of hard, a lot of times I stayed back on road trips, hitting weights with the weight coach. And after that, the managers would get me in the gym. I'm getting up shots. And so it was, I did like little things to kind of get me through the year. So.
Gotcha. Now it's your sophomore year, your redshirt sophomore year. And, as you know, you and Glenn, Collins Martin, just give me a little feedback on that season, because now you playing again.
We're coming in, and Glenn is preseason National Player of the Year. So everybody's we got a little bit of pressure on them. They don't really expect us to be as good as we were going to be. So first couple of preseason exhibition games, I'm coming off the bench. So there's some guys in front of me. So I hear my name called. I go out, and I won't say maybe I got a double-double in 15 minutes. So they like, man, this dude improved, So next game, I think I get to start. I do well again. So we head out to the Great Alaska Shootout. I'm starting from the jump. So I'm like, man, let's go. So I played well out there. I think I want to say I can't remember who we beat in the championship game. So maybe we moved to the top 20. And long story short, we 14-0. We finally lose our first game of the year at Wisconsin. They had Tracy Webster, Mike Finley, Rashard Griffin. It was a really good team.
Yeah.
So that was our first loss. I think I did okay that year. Probably played about 20 minutes a game. I averaged about 5 and 5. I split time with Iron Steinbeck, who was a senior, really good, taught me a lot. Ended up that year losing to Duke in the Elite Eight. Man, that's that's the loss that if I can go back one game, and man, that would be the game. But we had
give me your thoughts on that game, because that's not many players or teams can have the opportunity to play in the tournament, and then even in the tournament can go to Elite Eight. What's the difference in how you're being treated as you go further and further in the tournament?
It's we came in as a #1 seed, so it was just crazy. We played the first 2 games in Lexington, so we stayed. I can't remember what hotel we stayed at, but that whole hotel. It was just thousands of people in there, just black and gold. They having pep rallies, and so I think we beat a team from Florida, Central Florida, and maybe Alabama in the first 2 rounds. And when you in the NCAA tournament, man, everybody could just experience it, man. It's so wonderful. So we play Sweet 16 down in Knoxville, Tennessee. We beat Kansas, which is a great program.
Yeah,
Some really good players. Glenn goes off for 44. I want to say Zoe had 29 to 30. They're just on fire. And I'm like, man, we beat Kansas, so now the matchup everybody's been waiting on is Duke and Purdue. Grant Hill against Glenn. And I just remember we had a morning shoot around. We get back to the hotel. I took a nap, and I'm hearing some noise, and I'm like, what is this? And I go out and just open my door. That hotel lobby was so packed with just Purdue fans. If a player just walked past the balcony, they just go crazy. And I just remember everybody was just, I mean, it was kind of quiet. We went to the game because we were so focused. I'm like, man, this is, you know, we got the Final Four riding on this.
Yeah.
Man, to play against a program like Duke, man, they just, you know, a year ago, they went on one, you know, 2 championships back to back. And, I mean, it was really intense, but, you know, they got us, you know. Just, I mean, Grant Hill is, I mean, he's, in my book, he's a Hall of Famer. And they had some, you know, some other really good guys, Jeff Cable, Cherokee Parks, you know, and in the end, they got us. And, man, just really disappointed. I just remember everybody crying in the locker room. You know, coach was kind of quiet. You know, that one hurt. So, you know, we had a great season, but, you know, we didn't get to that Final Four like we thought we would. But, you know.